Hey guys, in this video, we're going to take a look at the multi-factor authentication or the two-factor authentication option that we have in PAM360. So after you onboard your users from one of your directory services and designating them with the roles, you can enable two-factor authentication for higher security. So the users will be challenged twice before they can access the PAM360 solution. So as you can see, we have different options available for two-factor authentication. We have a phone factor service, RSA Secure ID, Google Authenticator, and various other options. Google Authenticator and Microsoft Authenticator are phone application-based TFA, a token-based system. So they are fairly straightforward. You just select the option that you prefer and hit save. And that would basically activate the Google Authenticator option as TFA for PAM. So the next time you try to log in or one of your other users try to log in, after you supply your first layer of credentials, you will be prompted with a barcode, which you can scan using your Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator app, and you supply the token number and you're all set. So from then on, every time you try to log into PAM360, you will be challenged twice before you can log into the solution. And for RSA Secure ID, we have a dedicated document that explains how you can configure this setup. So based on your RSA Secure ID design, whether you're using the RSA authentication manager or if you're using an agent-based system, you will be able to configure a secret, a not secret, and supply it in PAM and make use of it. Apart from Okta Verify RSA Secure ID, we also have a standard radius connector, meaning regardless of what two-factor system you're using, as long as it is radius compliant, you can use it with PAM360. So for this, you just need to specify your radius server name, port number, and the protocol in which your radius server is authenticating users. It's a fairly straightforward setup. And in some cases, you might have a secret, a server secret for your radius, and you can specify it there. Same goes for Duo Security. If you're trying to use Duo Security, it would ask you for the integration key, the secret key, and the API hostname, basically the server in which you have the Duo Security running. Apart from these options, we also have a one-time password option that is bundled with PAM360. So this does not require any two-factor systems that you have to have in your environment. When you enable this option, users will be receiving a random password through email every time they try to log in. They also have to supply that two-factor password in order for them to be able to log in. But we recommend users to choose any of the other two-factor authentication systems, especially because they are designed for that purpose. And one-time password might not be of much help if some users' Active Directory credential is compromised, which means their email is also compromised. So that said, it's a good idea to actually use any of the better two-factor systems. And some of these authenticator apps are even free to use, so it shouldn't be a problem. And the two-factor authentication setting is also a global setting. So when I select any option and hit save, it gets activated globally. And you can also control it at the user level. So if you go to Users tab, and if you edit any particular user, you will be able to decide whether or not this user should have two-factor authentication option. So you can select multiple users and go to this More Action section. And even in this section, you will see you can enable for which user you want the two-factor authentication to be enabled. But we recommend the global setting where you activate it and it gets enabled for all the users in bulk. And it's good to have all the users go through two-factor authentication for logging into PAM.